Don't scroll. Listen to me as if your own heartbeat were speaking, all because I, Michael, the Archangel of the Lord, am standing at the threshold of your room right now. I am the sword and the lightning and the breath before the thunder. I am the sentinel who watched you sleep while the world turned like a coin flicked by an unseen hand. I am here because time is thinner than it looks. The horizon you trusted is not a wall, it is a veil. And tonight the veil is lifting. You have felt the unease that crawls behind your ribs, the way clocks have sounded different lately, the way faces you know seem a fraction out of place, as though they were copied from a memory that's starting to burn. You're not imagining it. The end times tremor is under your feet, and the ground is honest when men are not. So hear me, this is a warning wrapped in mercy. I will tell you what is coming. I will tell you what you must do now. And if you follow, you will walk through fire and not be scorched. Stay with me. I was there when the first twins were measured, when God named the distances and told the seas how far they could sleep. I have stood above cities while they dreamed and while they were judged. I know the sound of a soul rising and I know the sound of a life falling apart. Lately, the lies are falling faster. You saw the signs, but the world called them glitches, coincidences, noise. But you remember that night a streetlight hummed your name. You remember the flock of birds that turned as one the second you prayed. You remember waking at a precise hour at 3:33, 4:44 because heaven stamped time itself to rattle your attention. You asked, "Is this you?" And then you looked away, because to look fully would mean to change fully. Tonight there is no way. Tonight I put my hand on your shoulder and say with the voice that shakes the hidden, wake. This is what is unfolding. A countdown that does not use numbers. A storm that begins in the mind, spreads through the tongue, and then takes the hands. Man will call good evil because good burns away the costumes they love to wear. They will sell fear dressed as freedom, and despair dressed as data. The screens will blink more than eyes blink, and people will let the screen do the seeing for them. There will be a new kind of famine, and not of bread but of truth, because the wells of meaning will be salted with sarcasm and the gardens of wisdom paved over with cleverness. You will hear prophets who sound fashionable and devils who sound reasonable. You will hear laughter with no joy, and you will hear cries that are practiced for cameras. You will see power sit on thrones built from attention, not authority, and you will see those thrones collapse as if they were made of confetti. And in the middle of it, you will wonder who you are. I am here to answer that first, before I teach you how to stand. You are the one God foresaw when he placed stars like punctuation in a sentence about hope. You are chosen not because you are flawless, but because you are reachable. You are reachable now. Listen closely. There are two wars moving at once. The outer war, news, noise, nations, systems that one will try to hypnotize you. But the inner war, memory, vow, conscience, secret habitat, that is where victories grow roots. If you went there, the outer war cannot buy you, borrow you, or break you. So I begin with your room, your breath, your name. Take a slow inhale now. Place your right hand above your heart. Whisper your own name to me. I hear it in the original language in which your soul was first spoken. This is the first thing you must do. Reclaim your name from every mouth that used it carelessly and every thought that mocked it. Say in your spirit, my name belongs to God. Good. Heaven heard you. Second, I need you to renounce the private agreements you made with despair. Those tiny contracts, those phrases you scribbled on the wall of your fear. This is just who I am, nothing ever changes, I'll never be more than these. I saw you write them on nights when exhaustion dressed up as wisdom. Rip them down. Speak softly but clearly. I break agreement with despair. When you say it, I will cut the cords you cannot see. Do it now. That tug you feel under your ribs? That is a line snapping, a darkness losing its last glove. Third, confession. You are not a machine, you are a garden. Gardens become wild without pruning. Open your mouth up, if not aloud, then in the center of your thought up, and confess the thing that keeps circling you. Not to accuse you, but to free you. Confess the grudge that has become your shadow. Confess the lie you tell to go to sleep. Confess the obsession you kept like a pet and now realize has been feeding on you. Don't decorate it with excuses. Hand it over, raw. I am holding a bowl of fire. I will carry what you give and it will not burn you, it will burn away from you. Do not be ashamed of how long you waited. You are not late when the one who called you can bend time. Fourth, sanctify your doorways. You think I speak of the wood and hinges where you live? Yes, and more. The doorways are anything that lets something in, your eyes, your ears, your phone, your conversations, your playlists, your late-night scrolls that seem like harmless drift but feel like drowning after. You must choose sentries for your gates. Ask 3 questions of anything seeking entry. Does this feed faith or fear? Does it chain me to shame or call me to courage? Does it make me forget I am loved or remember it? If it fails the test, it does not pass your threshold. You are not being dramatic, you are defending a city with your name on it. Be decisive. Mercy is for people, not for the serpents that hide in the pixels. Fifth, restore your altar. No, not marble. The altar is any surface where your will meets God's will. Your kitchen table at 6 a.m. with an open Bible is an altar. Your commute with worship in your mouth is an altar. The quiet 10 minutes before sleep when you lay worry on the pillow and replace it with gratitude, named by Nehemiah, that is an altar. Build one every day. Put thanksgiving on it even when your hands are empty, and watch what appears. The end times are not the end of Thanksgiving. They are the moment Thanksgiving becomes a weapon of clarity. Demons hate grateful people because gratitude reminds the heir who owns it. Sixth, reconcile quickly. The heat will increase on the earth. People will cook in their garages. But you will go first. The apology that feels impossible is your jailbreak. Send the message. Make the call. Forgive the one who broke you, not as denial of pain, but as denial of their power to steer your future. You are not returning to abuse. You are returning to alignment. I have seen cancers of the soul vanish the instant the heart said, I won't drink this poison anymore. I cannot force your mouth to say it. But if you do, watch how oxygen returns to rooms you thought were haunted. Seventh, rehearse truth out loud. In the days coming, silence will not be neutral. Winds will carry words like seeds. Choose yours. Say these with me now, soldier of light. I am seated with Christ above the storm. I am an answer to a problem in this generation. My house is under angelic surveillance. No weapon formed against me survives the making. I choose holiness without bargaining. I am not outnumbered, I am backed. When you speak this, your atmosphere obeys, like a dog hearing its master's whistle. Eighth, generosity. I am going to uncover a strange economy. In the shaking, selfishness will look safe but rot fast. Generosity will look risky but multiply. Take one thing you treasure: real time, resource, talent up, and see that somewhere the spirit points. Don't announce it. Do it with joy, not performance. Watch what happens to your fear of lack. It will starve while you feast on enough. End times math is different. The more you hoard, the less you hold. The more you give, the more hands hold you. 9th, consecrate your midnight. The most crowded hour of hell is 12 to 1, when tired minds are easy prey. I want you to reclaim it. Not every night. Start with 1 or 2 nights a week. Set an alarm. Rise gently. Sit up, feet to floor, spine straight as a blade. Pray simply. Read Psalm 91, 27, 23a slow enough that the words wash, not just wet. Whisper the names of those you love. Ask for clean dreams. Then lie down. I will stand watch at your window. Morning will find you different. Night is not the devil's real estate. It belongs to the one who made galaxies to decorate it. 10th, choose your company with holy stubbornness. There are rescuers in your life and there are anchors tied to your ankles. Bless the anchors, cut the rope. It is not cruelty, it is obedience to the call on your life. Find at least 2 people who tremble at grace the way you do. Pray with them weekly. Send verses, not just memes. Even if they live far, distance is a rumor to angels. Agreement creates corridors through which we move faster. In the shaking, isolated saints become expansive victories. Together, you will be unbuoyable. You ask me, Michael, what is actually coming? The earth will ache with contractions, closer and stronger. Institutions will pull their masks off. Some will reveal saints you mocked as simple, others will reveal wolves you anointed as wise. Wealth will wobble like a table with a missing leg. The proud will host elaborate conferences to explain why they were wrong and still right. The humble will pick up pieces and feed numbers. Plagues will try to return, some will. But many will stop at doorposts brushed with the oil of obedience. There will be voices predicting dates as if God were a calendar begging to be solved. Ignore them. The true clock is your conscience and the Spirit's whisper. Keep it clean, keep it close. And yes, antichrists will multiply, some in pulpits, some in boardrooms, some in mirrors. Their signature is simple. They promise the kingdom without the king. I am telling you this so you recognize the perfume, not so you run from every street. Courage is not naivete. Copyright courage is clarity that cannot be counterfeited. I will tell you something sweeter than fear, the remnant is awakening. I see houses blazing with song where the power grid cannot reach. I see children prophesy like old men and old women dance like they remember Eden. I see businesses tithe their best ideas to the poor and watch profits expand as if generosity were a blueprint for invention. I see addicts touch floors with their faces and rise architects of mercy. I see marriages resurrected the way spring resurrects a frostbitten field. I see you choosing a small, exact obedience and heaven-moving furniture to make room for your next step. You will not need to be famous to be critical. In the last hour, small hinges will swing heavy doors. But you wonder, am I strong enough? Let me tell you what I see when I look at you. I see a survivor of battles you didn't know had names. I see a child who kept singing even when alone in a room full of noise. I see a future where your grandchildren tell stories that begin with, when everybody panicked. My grandmother, my grandfather prayed. Strength is not a feeling, it is a decision repeated. You will not always feel brave, but your feet will learn the road bravery walks. I will keep you from stumbling if you give me your ankles. Do you consent? Say it now, softly, I consent to be kept. Good. The ink is dry. Now attend closely, these are immediate instructions for tonight. Before you sleep, write down 3 things God rescued you from that no one knows. Do not post them. Fold the paper. Place it under your pillow. This is how we rewire your memory from victim to witness. Tomorrow, choose one object in your home that carries a story of compromise, an item that tempts you toward the old mind. Remove it. If you can throw it away safely, do so. If not, give it away. Replace it with a verse printed, a photo of a promise, a note that says, "We are a holy people in this house." Then, message one person who would never expect your kindness and offer a clean sentence, "I bless you, and I release you." This is not performance, it is demolition of bitterness. In 3 days, fast from whatever numbs you most, the food, media, complaint, and feast on the word instead. On day 4, break the fast by inviting someone to your table. Feed their body and their hope. Watch how your room's air tastes different after. You are not just avoiding darkness, you are manufacturing light. You fear missing out, being left behind. The only ones left behind are those who refuse to move when invited. You are invited. You are not late. Even if you delayed for years, the same God who stops the sun for battle can compress a decade into a month for obedience. Do not compare your timeline. Compare your surrender. Your task is not to outpace another, it is to out-obey your yesterday. Trust me, speed is a byproduct of alignment. I will tell you a secret about fear. It cannot stand being looked at in the light of accurate worship. When you say, "Holy, holy, holy," fear's spine breaks. When you sing, "You are good, and your mercy endures," fear's room becomes uninhabitable. Worship is not a lullaby for God, it is a battle cry for angels. We ride on it. Your living room can become a runway. Give us a song, and we will land with instructions. Remind yourself, you are not here to survive headlines, you are here to write heaven's footnotes on a shaking world. I also warn you, counterfeit wonders will multiply. There will be signs, yes, healings, visions, deliverances true and verified, but there will be tricks too, polished and packaged, miracles for sale like souvenirs. How do you tell the difference? True power bows to Jesus and makes people clean. Counterfeit power bows to cameras and makes people dependent. Look for fruit, not fireworks. My sword does not glitter to impress, it gleams because it is sharp. Sharpness is for separating bone from marrow, lies from truth. Ask for discernment, it will be given. You will feel it as a pressure in your chest, a yes that glows, a no that chills. Do not ignore either. There is something I need to remove from you now. Give me your shame. The one shaped like a ring you wear under the sleeve, the one you fidget with when people praise you, the one that whispers you're an accident God is tolerating. Hand it here. I am taking it to the ocean where the Trinity meets and where names are rewritten. If you listen, you can hear the splash. If you wait, you can feel the weight lift. 3 lighter, yes? That space in your chest is for courage. We are going to fill it with instructions that do not faint. When the ground tilts and headlines howl, do this, pause, put your hand on the table, and remember what is solid. Name out loud 3 things God did for you that no news can reverse. Then bless the room. Speak to the corners as if darkness were crouched 3, and it often is. Say, this space is bought by blood I did not earn. No torment is rent-free here. Light a simple lamp. Read a single paragraph of scripture. Stand an extra minute in silence. Angels prefer homes where silence is not awkward. You will feel the hum shift as if an air filter turned on. That is not poetry, that is physics of the spirit. I will not lie to you. Some pillars will fall. Some leaders you trusted will apologize with tears that don't wet the floor. Some friends will choose the wide road because it looks well lit. You will be hurt. Remember 2 things in those moments. First, I was assigned to you not because you are strong, but because you are destined to be. Second, God does not need perfect people to keep promises, He needs willing ones. If you keep willing, He will keep weaving even your losses into ropes that pull others from pits you barely survived. Nothing you give Him is wasted, not even your mistakes, especially not those. Now lift your eyes with me. See the thin line on the horizon where night surrenders. That is not an illusion. That is what obedience does to darkness, it makes it finite. The end times are not an excuse to be passive, they are an invitation to be precise. Less blur, more blade. Less noise, more note. Your assignment is not vague. You will carry peace like contraband into anxious rooms. You will speak gently to people who expect to lecture and thus catch them off guard enough to hope again. You will choose a vocation not because it pays the most, but because it multiplies light. You will write, build, nurse, code, sing, father, mother, plant, repair, all of it as protest against the kingdom of despair. And every time you do, you will hear armor clink in the invisible. That is me, saluting. In a moment, I will step back, though I do not leave. If you are still, you may feel a brush of wind as light slides along my wings. Before I move, I seal you with a charge. Do not delay the small obedience. Heaven builds with small bricks laid immediately. Large visions anchored to postponed obedience become museums of regret. But small yeses stack into cathedrals where entire neighborhoods find shelter. Tonight, say yes to one holy inconvenience, the prayer instead of the scroll, the call instead of the grudge, the scripture instead of the spiral, the generosity instead of the hoard. These are not minor, they are tectonic. Angels feel the ground shift when you do them. Demons do too, that is why the resistance feels personal. Smile when it does, it means you found a lever. I give you my benediction and my blade. The benediction is for your heart, may you be unconfusable. The blade is for your mouth, may you cut clean paths through the jungle of lies. If terror visits, introduce me. If temptation whines, starve it with worship. If sorrow sits, sit with it, then stand with me. The king is not nervous. The clock is not your enemy. Time is a servant when you walk with the one who wrote it. Stand, child. Tighten your laces. Lift your chin. The world is shaking, but not to bury you, to sift you, to show you, to set you like a lamp on a stand. This is the shock that becomes awakening. You were born for the end of the age, not as a spectator, but as a sign. Now, do what you must do. Write the paper and tuck it beneath your pillow. Remove the object of compromise. Send the blessing. Mark your midnight. Guard your gates. Build your altar. Reconcile quickly. Speak truth. Give generously. Choose holy friends. And when the sky looks like a wound and the ground like a rumor, remember my first word to you, wake. I'm Michael. I am with you in the doorway between the thunder and the rain. Walk through.